Here we go, here we go. Good afternoon. Special edition of the Select Board meeting for April 13th, 2023. We could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Anyone here for open forum? Seeing none, close open forum. Mr. Clark would take us through our agenda for this meeting.
And we're going to start off with the, meet with the moderator and town council to review the warrants. Then we'll go into action items, including closing the special and annual town meeting warrant and moving on after that.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Moderator? Mr. Clifford?
Good afternoon.
Hello, gentlemen.
So, we want to talk this first, because my last conversation I had with someone, I forget who, I apologize, was we were gonna open the meeting on the 8th.
Yep.
Maybe do part of it
Yeah, anything that's not
and continue to the 5th.
fiscal, right.
But but the special will run, the special will be done the 8th, I mean the 5th, the 8th, I mean.
The-
Special's gonna be finished the 8th.
Yep.
So I guess can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, obviously, we're not doing the budget article and we're not doing the capital article, but all the other articles, like in the special, where we're taking free cash to fund, the sick leave buybacks and things like that, are we doing those articles?
I was
Where is Charlie?
on the impression we were.
I had the impression, yeah, we were just gonna finish the special town meeting on the 8th, but
That's what I was
Yeah.
hoping, okay.
You weren't? Okay.
I thought we were just staying away from all money.
We could do that as well. So in order
Want
to,
me to get Charlie?
yeah, that'd probably be good.
Well, that pretty much would eliminate the whole special. wouldn't it?
Right,
Because,
right.
I mean,
I think it would make sense to do everything but Article 2 and Article 4, but
of what, the
Of the
special or the
no,
regular?
the
on
regular.
the regular.
Regular,
I
yeah.
That's what I
The whole
thought.
special, I think we can do.
Well, I mean, we can ask town council too, how that plays out, but I can't imagine.
We can, obviously, all we do is just decide who's gonna present and whatnot, so we can do that anyway,
Yep.
depending on when they're gonna be held. I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah, well, that, I think,
the election's May 13th, Peter may not be with us.
I'll make sure.
Write-ins.
Could be a significant writing campaign, you
I
never
would
know.
hope so. I would hope so. I'll endorse whoever wants to.
Nobody's touching me either, so we're stuck. I'm going on 20 years and nobody wants it.
Yeah, no. I
It's all yours.
imagine. So the question is, do we continue with the articles on the special for the fiscal questions?
I would say for the financial, no, because
Okay.
they're going to intersect with the financial articles that we're going to have for the annual town meeting also.
Okay. So how do we do that? Do we just
So
go-
do we open the special, close it, and continue it?
Yes.
So we're not gonna touch anything in the special, 'cause it looks like it all has to do with money.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything in there.
Unless someone can tell.
David?
Well, I was just asking Melanie here, on
Yep.
Article 2,
Yep.
that's an unanticipated expense. That could come out of our reserve fund, where we still have money available this year.
Mm-hmm.
Three.
Still couldn't three.
And then 4 doesn't require any funding, it's just moving, money, so if we could
Okay.
do that article, would be
Contracts now.
good. 5, I don't know if Tim's here, but 5, I think we wouldn't do anyway, because I believe that's going to the capital article. I haven't got
Right,
the answer
that is.
there.
I mean, my only question would be, would it be cleaner just to do everything at the June meeting and just go after?
Why cherry pick stuff out of the special? 'Cause then we
Right,
have to-
just go with the layups on,
It's not gonna affect anything if you delay it, right?
I think so.
I would,
On the special,
I mean, you're going to still have a month to get anything done if we're doing transfers or if we're spending money. So it's still, we'll still have these should be fiscal '23 appropriations in essence, and we'll still have a month left, like 4 weeks left.
So procedurally, if we're not gonna vote on anything in the special town meeting warrant, moderator can open the meeting, move to adjourn to June
Fifth.
5th.
Yep.
You know, assuming that passes, then you move right on to the annual. I think there are a number of articles in the annual that we will be.
Oh, absolutely.
Those articles you'd have to vote individually to pass them over,
Yep.
assuming that's the recommendation of the Finance Committee at that time.
Okay. Could I ask one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Will we have any issue, like Article 1 in the special, that would fund the FY '23, like clerical contract, which has been settled? Will we have any issue passing that over and
No,
prolonging?
because we'll still have June 5th.
Okay, so
and
it's
it
just
goes
gonna
to June
prolong
30th.
their new
Yeah,
rates
right, it's the end of the month.
We're gonna have to, you know, whoever might receive compensation from that's gonna have to wait another month.
So assuming that's the direction, so the motion would be to adjourn the special town meeting and then move to the annual?
Yep.
And then
But
within.
for all intent purposes, though, we still gotta, we might as well, why don't we just go
Still go through them.
through and just assign them, because they still have to be done. It's gonna be the
Sure.
same order.
Sure.
So you can start us off, Pete. Again, we don't have to go, we don't have to necessarily discuss, I mean, Article 1 just, as
Yeah, right,
you
right,
said,
right.
just to pay
Yeah, no,
contracts.
yep. You might have to remind me prior to June, but
Oh, remind you in May.
Rebecca creates excellent documents.
I'll remind you in May.
there you go.
Chief Harrell will do the next two, and then just, again, these are stuff that we see all the time.
Yep.
I don't know if anyone has any questions on each one. Actually, the next 4 and 5 is the same. And
Go right up to number 9.
6, well, yeah, well, no, 6 will be, won't that be Brian Kiley, he's
Yep.
facilities
Yes.
manager?
Yep.
And then the next two will be Chief O'Brien. And David, you're the number 9?
Sure.
I'm sounding enthused. That takes us
Sure.
into that.
All right,
He's sketch everybody, David.
yep.
So, I mean, we can look at these and say, okay, which ones are we gonna pull out, which ones are we gonna pull out on May 8th? Number 2. Right?
Yes.
I think we have to pull Article 1 if we pulled it on the special.
Well, Article 1's.
No, Article.
Oh, no, Article 1 is just standard accepting town reports, basically.
Oh, I'm sorry, Article.
Nobody even sees town
Article
reports.
3, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Article
three, yep.
yes.
Yeah, Article 3 and 4 have to be pulled possibly? 5 can stay?
6, 7.
6, 7, yeah, 5, 6, 7, well, don't we do the
That might be the consent.
consensus, we've done those now.
Yeah, 1, 6, and there's 3 of them.
1, 5,
1,
and 7.
5, and 7.
1, 5,
1, 5, and 7. But Article 6 will stay. Article 8 stays, 9, I mean, the rest of them all stay, I think, right?
What about the transfer requests?
Oh, transfers of money. Well, if we're pulling the other ones out, we should probably pull these out, right? We're pulling out a transfer from the special to go over to June 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So we should probably pull 13 through 17 out.
I think 8, 9, and 10, if that's the reason, if that's.
8 just, it looks like it just allows online permitting license.
No, but we're spending 60,000.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't read the whole thing, I'm looking at the index.
So just as a matter of form, it would be the motion of the Finance Committee to pass over whichever
Yeah.
articles.
Well, and if we pass over them, we can return to them in June, right? We don't need the tables that pass over.
I think we'll write up a specific motion, pass over to June 5th.
To a later date, and then specifically state the date.
Yep.
All right, so why don't we just go through what people think we should pull out then? Because I think well, it's 25 through 36 can be dealt with.
Yep,
Just
that's all
street
in.
acceptance.
Right.
24.
Oh, yeah, I can see that one. 24 to 36.
Mm-hmm.
40, 41 can be heard. Hey, probably this is the first time I'm looking at these.
No money's
So-
involved in that,
I
really.
think, do we skip over 18 through 23? Those are not financial in any way.
Yeah, oh yeah, well, I was just trying to pull groups out. So we, yeah, so keep 18 all the way to 36 in.
Yep.
So let's go up here for a minute though. So we go, so 1, 5, 6, 7 stay in. 8 gets pulled out. Right? Because that's the funding, that's the 6.
Yes, it gets pulled.
Number 9,
Pulled.
pull. 10,
Yeah.
pull. So 11 will get pulled.
11 doesn't have to be pulled because we're not, there's no money involved
Okay.
specifically in that
We'll
article.
keep 11 in.
I had a question about 11 too. If I can it be effective July 1st, 2023, or does it have to be July 1st, 2024?
Well, I think 3.
I think we're accepting it as a new enterprise fund. You have to get
Wait a
through
year.
that year. It's gotta be the following year. I don't think you can do it. I think you have to close out next year, and then it would go into effect the following year. 11.
Number 12. That's a money one. So we pull that one, that's a $50,000.
On 12 there, do we own that land now by tax lien? or-
Yes.
We do?
That's the money one, so we want to wait on that. That's $50,000. We want to wait on 12. And then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then we have, let's see, 37, 38, discuss this funding, let's see what they do. Yeah, I'm not sure what it does because it doesn't really,
It's basically, I mean,
37,
we can hold 37 and 38 for now. That's,
Well, it-
yeah. And we'll have something,
What's the actual deadline for the warrant to be posted?
The 19th of April.
so it's Wednesday.
Okay. So we need to have a pretty final version of it by then, obviously.
Yes.
but, right, but we're, oh, I see, but this is actually, yeah, we're keeping everything here, and then we're just gonna continue 'em over on the,
Right, but we need to have the right.
yeah, the rest of the time, because, yeah, 37, 38 doesn't have. And the school project, it's gonna be pulled.
For now, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not even sure
we
we're
don't
gonna
know.
act on it,
Yeah.
but for now, we'll pull it.
All right, so I think that covers everything. So,
It's clear as mud.
what?
It's clear as mud.
Well, no, but what I'm saying, instead of going over each article here, we can just, either I can just do it and present it to you guys, who's gonna do what. Because it's only about 4 different groups here, 3. Selectmen and fire chief
DPW, IT.
and DPW and school, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I can just take these and just, do a rotation thing on it. Instead of, we don't have to sit here, if you want, we can sit and go through each one, but it's,
No, no reason.
unless someone's not gonna be at the meeting, it's, we can have that, I get that to you ahead of time.
You're not gonna be there?
No, you're not.
I'm not gonna be
We're doing it right.
there?
Again, don't get him excited.
So I'm not talking, I'm just
Well,
sitting
he'll
in
be
the
there for the
audience.
first one, just not the second one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what we're suggesting is one motion at the beginning of the annual to say the following articles on the recommendation of the Finance Committee,
Yeah.
we're gonna pass over until June 5th.
Yep.
And I think the way you folks use the screen, you could immediately skip to the ones that haven't been passed over, so I think it'll be
Yeah.
fairly clear what we're doing. Or as Carol indicated, as clear as mud.
Yeah, but it'll all come into focus, it always does.
It's always fun.
So I think that's the best way to do it, and then, but now, because like I said, look at, 3 or 4 things that really, the IT director, the odd DPW, and planning board each have 1. the rest between the fire chief and the selectmen
Yeah.
on the annual. So I think we should, we just have to find, the next couple of days, just find, go through this, finally set it up, and we should be all set. I don't think there's really any need to further discuss anything. Unless anybody has a discussion on a particular item, which we can't discuss the meat of it anyway, but.
We're good. I'm good.
Yep, I don't see anything in here that should be too earth-shattering, so. The May 8th meeting should be fairly quick. Let's see.
Yeah, we could also do the, why can't we can also do the same on the ones we're pulling on the special, right, John? They can give one.
Yeah.
The finance committee can give one motion on the specials, then we're pulling out, we're gonna pass all these articles,
Move forward. Yeah,
yeah.
great. All right,
Anything else?
nothing from me.
Nope.
Charlie,
I'm good.
you good? All right, he's good. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Thank you.
Before these legal guys go, can I pose a question?
I'm not doing anything pro se again, Roy.
Through the board?
Yeah, good, Roy.
So the only thing that came up and was, I think, clarified this morning when I downloaded a current copy of the state zoning bylaw in terms of modifications. The proposal we have for a zoning change, which is the land between Central and West Union.
Yep.
Current state zoning bylaw, section 5, I believe it is, 48, section 5, I believe in pretty readable black and white text says that any zoning change that would increase the density of zoning, i.e. multifamily housing, now only requires a majority vote at town meetings. So I just wanted to clarify that and make sure that I read that correctly.
You did, that's the one that was just passed, I think, in the past year.
Right.
It does say
It is
majority,
new.
it does
It
say
is new.
majority, yes.
Okay, everything else is still, everything else except what was added that last year
Right, it would be
is still
two-thirds,
2/3.
yeah.
And I think the actual language, just so we don't get into rejecting, if there were any zoning articles, the language will be deferred to June 5th. So if anything not passed, so could be construed as a negative vote.
Okay.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There is an additional action item in your packet, the one with the red
Food truck night?
tab there.
All right, I'm gonna hit the action items.
Make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to close the special annual warrant.
Second.
Motion been made, seconded. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chairman, I make a motion to, I think it's review the ARPA applications for community signs.
Second.
So the ARPA committee was asking basically for more input from the board of selectmen in terms of, we have two signs right now, one that are connected really to the junior and senior high schools, one on Route 18 Bedford Street and one here over on Plymouth Street. There are 3 applications among the ARPA applications for additional signs, one here at Town Hall, one at the middle school, one at the elementary school. I think that the ARPA committee really was, the primary questions were, do we need 5 signs, or 4, or 3, whatever number? 2, who's gonna be able to use the signs? If we're using ARPA funds, are they gonna be limited to, if the ones are at the schools, are they gonna be limited to just the schools? Is the town one gonna be just limited to town? Are we gonna allow, intermingle at least around the town and the school, those signs? And the possibility of having community groups also use the signs for, announcements about various events. And the third is, even if we do need 5, are those the right locations? In that we would have 5 signs all within, relatively a half mile, 3/4 of a mile each other. In this specific area of East Bridgewater, where the rest of East Bridgewater wouldn't have similar coverage. And so they were asking, before they made recommendations back to the board, for input from the board on those questions.
Okay. So I'm assuming signs, you mean the ones that,
Electronic signs,
yes.
yes, LED ones.
all right,
So, you know, I don't think they're necessarily specific duplicates of the ones that are at the junior and senior high schools.
Right.
And one of the questions that came up was, each of them seems to be slightly different, and they were asking, did it make sense simply to have 3 exact same signs? No add-ons or, you know, additional details for that, but, think of those 2 signs and buying 3 more of them.
I mean, it seems a little much to have Central School and Town Hall.
right.
They're right next door, but what about the Council on Aging? That would spread one out, you know, down Plymouth Street for traffic that way.
We've had this, you know, talk many times before that, you know, people that come through town hall, you know, at school, they have that, but, you know, as you're saying, down there, no one has it. Down the other end of town, there are absolutely no signs down there whatsoever. Now, we'd need a piece of property down there to
We
put a
need
sign
town property,
there.
yeah.
But I think to have 3 here together is a little
Seems like
too
a lot.
much. And I would think and again, the schools control their own signs, but, you know, I would think they'd be able to flip-flop all the information for the different schools on their 2 signs that they have out there now. But I definitely think there should be one outside the town hall. And, you know, can other organizations use it? Well, that's gonna depend on how many other signs we have, but we still have 2 moving signs that can be moved around for the other organizations, which we use, you know, continuously when they're not in use somewhere else.
And I will say, you know, when we had the one installed over in Halifax at the fire department, it was different. We used to have just literally the letterboard signs.
Right.
And you only could have one sign on each
one
side, and that was it. You can change, you know, with the ones, with the fire department one, we just, okay, you wanted 10 different announcements, they just went through the rotation.
Right.
Right. Backs up traffic, though. Sitting there waiting.
Everybody
see
stopping to
other
read it.
sign.
All that
Traffic backs up there anyway.
That's a good spot.
Right out here, right out on 18 both ways is where it is. It's something to read while you sit there for 2 hours. Yeah, I think we probably should have a discussion with them regarding that and maybe even talk
Who's
to.
them?
That would be the opera committee.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then, so was the article put in, or was the, was the request put in by the schools? Is that who put?
The 2 school signs were put in by the schools,
Okay.
the town sign was put in by the
Town hall.
town.
All right, yeah.
Put in there.
Yeah, we gotta, I'm assuming we're gonna be meeting soon with the group anyways, to go over that booklet I got last week, so.
Yeah, let's talk to them and see,
Okay.
and put everyone
I'll
together
follow
and
it.
see.
Yeah, let's put them on.
Rebecca and myself can check to see on the schedule, when ARPA's meeting, and then
Yep.
pass along the invite.
Yeah, we could even go to their
post if
meeting
Right.
necessary.
if necessary, or have a joint meeting or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably time for a joint meeting.
Yep. All right,
Mr. Chairman, I move to make a motion to approve the request of Angeline Kuwamini of the Angelic Bravery Tinker and Play for the use of Sachem Rock Farm on Thursdays for 2023, starting April 20th, 2023, from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. for kindergarten based classes. These are nature classes for children age 1.5 to 8 years old.
Second.
motion made second, any,
The COA, they are holding events on May 4th and June 8th.
okay,
So the letter in the minutes will just state that they just can't have the event on those 2 dates.
Okay.
all right,
That was my next question. Did we check in with their schedule?
all right.
Okay, thank you.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the request from Diane Phillips of the East Bridgewater Democratic Committee for Earth Day cleanup on April 29th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Participants will pick up trash around the town.
Second.
Motion made second, all in favor, any discussion, I guess?
I think they've done this before in the
Yep.
past. and
Yeah,
they
they
always
do,
do a
yeah.
great job.
Good for them.
All approve?
Okay.
Aye.
The next 4 action items, Charlie, are we still?
Yeah, for the number 5, I don't have the set of proposals necessary for the board to approve. 6, we have an executive session first. I don't know whether we're gonna come back in open session. The board may want to come back to number 6. I'm not sure if we're gonna be ready or not. 7A, I need to talk to Megan and Carrie about it again with the board. I'll get back to that as soon as I can.
Okay.
Okay, we have one additional action item. Make a motion to approve the event permit application for Pony Town Parties Food Truck Nights. This event will take place every Wednesday starting April 19th, 2023 through September 27th, 2023 from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Second?
Motion made second. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
That's it.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chairman.
Announcements, Rebecca, or anything you got?
I
Okay.
don't.
No town issue. All right, great. Board discussion?
Weren't we just here?
And we were.
Our discussion.
Yeah, same as Monday?
Same as Monday. You might as well go ahead and do your little
Second
spiel
verse,
there.
same as the first.
I don't even know if I have that in this minute. Anyhow, let me look here. On April 22nd, across the street at St. John's Evangelist Church, we will have a history of the churches in East Bridgewater. It begins at 6:30. On April 25th, at the Community Center, we will have a author discussion, the history of the Phillips War, Kim Phillips War, and that begins at 7 o'clock.
Thank you. All right, that should be it. Should conclude. Get a, entertain a motion.
Motion, let's see, we're gonna go into.
Executive, yep.
Make a motion to close the open meeting and enter into executive session and may return to open session pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations and conducting collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with firefighters, superior officers, clerical, DPW, dispatchers, patrol officers, police chief, deputy police chief. And David Sheedy, aye.
Peter Spigot, aye.
Carol Julius, aye.
All right, thank you.